It's nice to actually get beat for once. It sounds weird to say.
This idea that I could lose a wrestling match is out there. Stay tuned, because if he steps on that line, I'm taking this dude 10-0. Like I said.
Herman Sarukian has once again savagely ridiculed Paddy Pimblett after the Englishman lost a BJJ competition. Meanwhile, the excitement is growing for a Jon Jones versus Daniel Cormier grappling match. But before any of that, let's cover Ilia Topuria's latest court appearance. Ilia Topuria stands before Spain's court for violence against women as part of a continuing legal case involving his former partner, Georgina Euskadegi. The proceedings focus on Euskadegi's wish to move with their child from Spain to Miami, her home before their marriage, a relocation Topuria objects to. After the session, Euskadegi departs the courthouse without addressing the media, while Topuria exits in an upbeat mood, telling reporters he is happy he'll see his daughter again.
Muy pronto, entonces no estoy nada agobiado, estoy muy tranquilo, por favor, si me dejáis paso.
¿Me puedes dar una Ilia? ¿Por qué estáis hoy aquí? Cuéntanos.
Es por la custodia de tu hija, Ilia.
Por favor, tenemos que pasar.
Espera, Ilia.
Pero por favor,
Nieto, tú estás como un descanso, ¿cómo estás tú también, tú personalmente?
¿Cómo te encuentras tú?
¿Cómo te encuentras, Ilia?
Cuando salga, tal vez.
¿Cuál es tu prioridad ahora mismo, Ilia?
Mi prioridad es mi hija, mis hijos, mi familia, esa es mi prioridad.
However, Paddy Pimblett yielded his crown as king of the mat at Next Generation MMA as his streak finally ended. This all-in jiu-jitsu challenge sent every participant onto the mat simultaneously. Tap out and you're out. Endure and you stay within. After years of dominance, Paddy's streak Their rivalry still intensifying. Armin Sarukian took the opportunity to taunt Paddy Pimblett after video surfaced of Paddy submitting in that annual BJJ competition weeks before UFC 324 title.
Said, "Is this the trash can that said he can out-grapple?"
Yet, Paddy's attention is on his next bout versus Justin Gaethje, and he trains hard for it as he aims to contend for the championship. On the other hand, Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones recently filmed a TV program, and many developments have occurred during that production. Yet, what's truly astonishing is their willingness to now forge a friendship. Jon Jones indicates that the animosity with Daniel Cormier no longer dictates their bond. He implies their contention is behind them and recognizes merit in sharing a setting once more, even working together professionally. In his view, spending time and collaborating could help resolve past issues and pave the way for reciprocal esteem, suggesting that what once was sheer animosity.
Have Daniel Cormier part of this show. Obviously, him and I have a rough history. I know he doesn't like me very much. We've beaten him twice, but I think him coming out here to Thailand, filming with me, will be a great opportunity for us to mend this jacked up relationship. But I have no problems with him. If anything, him coming out here would give us both an opportunity to maybe start a
Daniel Cormier clarifies that being near Jon Jones no longer holds the animosity it formerly displayed. Since his fighting career is now behind him, he feels that chapter has concluded, carrying much of the bitterness away. While the friction and past arguments still exist, he views them as part of their history, not explosive. Presently, he believes they've come to a point where they can share a common space, act professionally, and move ahead without it becoming another clash.
Jon Jones it's different because we had such a bad history. But the reality is I'm done fighting now. And it's like that part of it's gone, so it's not nearly as nasty. But I think that we've done a good job of being professional as much as we can. Obviously, we argue a lot, but that's just the status of our relationship. But I think that we've gotten to a point in our lives where we can be in the same area without trying to fight each other.
Cormier disclosed Jon Jones initially reached out regarding the program via a video. Cormier clarified he'd long desired to face Jones, noting he's not eager to revisit their past, but one certainty exists. Should Jones offer a challenge, Cormier will reply. Daniel Cormier stated, some months prior, "The one thing I always wish to do is compete against Jon Jones. I'm not fond of simply bypassing him, but if Jon Jones grasped anything from our periods of interacting and fighting, it's to just challenge me. Should you challenge me, you can be certain I will answer." Daniel Cormier also opens the door for one more competitive chapter with Jon Jones, but this time beyond the octagon. He considers the prospect of resolving matters in a boxing ring, recognizing the ongoing discussions they've held regarding it. Still, the conversation shifts rapidly whenever wrestling arises. From Cormier's perspective, that is well-known ground, and he emphasizes that should Jones agree to a pure wrestling bout, the result wouldn't be tight. In his view, that situation concludes definitively and beyond dispute. Daniel Cormier remarked, "There were multiple occasions during the time we spent together where Jon Jones and I argued about fighting each other."
Wrestle him in real American freestyle wrestling, and I would beat him. The idea that Jon Jones and I would literally get into a stance and wrestle a match, and that I could somehow lose, makes no sense to me. Stay tuned, because if he ever steps on that line, I'm taking this dude 10-0, as I said.
Makhachev also acknowledges that solely a wrestling bout represents the single instance where Daniel Cormier might genuinely compete with Jon Jones. He emphasizes that despite Jones being a proficient grappler, Cormier's Olympic pedigree offers him a definite superiority in pure grappling, leading to a much tighter contest than with other regulations.
Сказал, что с Джоном Джонсом поборолся бы и, цитирую, надрал бы ему задницу. Как ты думаешь, насколько вот, если эта борцовская схватка произошла бы все-таки, она возможно может произойти в Лиге РАФ, Кормье был бы успешен?
Ну, знаете, такое противостояние, где только в борьбе Кормье может потянуть Джон Джонсом, потому что Джон Джонс хорошо борется, но борьба это стихия Кормье, и это парень олимпийского уровня. Это большой уровень.
Cormier thinks a genuine American freestyle wrestling bout against Jon Jones would strongly benefit him. He feels certain his wrestling stays keen since he continues to train and guide grapplers daily. In his view, that consistent exposure maintains his timing and instincts whole, making him sure he would overpower Jones when the encounter moves strictly to wrestling. Daniel Cormier declared, "I'm gonna kick his ass as you'd never believe, because guess what? I still shoot because I still coach grapplers every single day." Daniel Cormier is certain that a clean wrestling bout against Jon Jones would prove one-sided. Though Jones has general strength, wrestling is where he holds a significant lead. Cormier states he'd readily accept a quick freestyle bout against Jones, convinced it would end fast, emphasizing he'd rapidly establish total dominance.
The last few years we see that MMA fighters are more competing in grappling matches.
Yep.
For you, if there's the right offer, would you like to grapple with somebody?
Grappling? I don't know so much. Wrestling? Yeah, I'll wrestle Jon Jones. Yeah, they can give me and Jon Jones a wrestling match. Whoever wants to pay for that, yeah, tell us. We'll wrestle me and Jon Jones. Freestyle wrestling. Me and Jon Jones, 2-3 minute periods. It won't take that long though.
How do you visualize that matchup?
It would be a wipeout.
As Daniel Cormier shows sincere pride in Islam Makhachev becoming a two-division champion, marking the last accomplishment Cormier himself had envisioned. He recalls when Islam noted he had equaled all Cormier's records, apart from being a double champion, and now views that ambition completely fulfilled. For Cormier, the accomplishment is profoundly gratifying. He stresses his true desire has always been for Islam to exceed him in all aspects, stating, "This is your hope for your brothers."
Your relationship with Islam, and you met him as a kid. He barely, spoke any English. He was just a kid with this dream. What was it like for you to see him with the front row seat, to see him achieve that goal?
It's so satisfying. Anytime, we all give each other shit about stuff like that. We make jokes, but all I want is for him to be better than I ever was. All those guys, every one of those guys that we trained together, like when Luke would fight, I wanted him to do better than me. When Kane would fight, when Habib would fight, all you want is for your brothers to do better than you. You don't want to, I want every record I ever held in AKA to belong to someone else by the time I'm done and gone. Because then that would mean that our gym, the gym that gave us all so much, still is producing champions. and champions at a rate that, when we were in our heyday, made us the best gym in the world.
And Sean Strickland shared his views about Islam and Khamzat's dominance in the UFC currently. He clarifies that competitors such as Islam Makhachev and Khamzat Chimaev give the impression they never slow their pace or tire. Based on his background training with Chechen and Dagestani grapplers, he recounts a psychological burden where it seems they won't quit or break. Nevertheless, he thinks that once you resist and keep engaging, that facade vanishes and they start to wear down. He also notes that their grappling method is quite distinct and unfamiliar, making it tough.
Just had a dominant fight over an Aussie. Khamzat really dominated DDP. Why does everyone struggle against these type of wrestlers?
Well, I already called it in the game with DDP. It's like I've been training with these little Chechens and whatever, Dagestanis my whole life. I'll give you an example. So you'll train with these guys and it's 1,000% off the gate. They take you down and like there's a voice in your head that's almost like, fuck, this guy doesn't get tired. He doesn't stop. He doesn't quit. But then the moment you push back and you just keep fighting the good fight, all of a sudden they just start breaking. You see that with Gilbert, you know, like you had a welterweight that just didn't let you ragdoll him, and then next thing you know, you weren't wrestling anymore. So they have a very unique way of grappling, and unless you've experienced that, it's just something.
Additionally, Sean Strickland calls Anthony Hernandez American Chimaev and clarifies why a fight with Fluffy is more logical for him than facing Robert Whittaker. In his view, beating Whittaker leads nowhere with no clear title opportunity attached. He downplays the worth of that matchup, arguing that Whittaker is no longer a meaningful step forward. Instead, Strickland sees Fluffy as the more relevant and motivating opponent right now, both competitively and strategically.
You don't want Whittaker? It doesn't do anything. I beat Whittaker. There's no title shot ahead of that. It doesn't do anything. Good thing about Fluffy, guy's on like a 50-fight winning streak. You're next in line. He's like the American Chimaev. Like, that's the fight. It's like the girl at the party, everybody's fucked, and you're just like, you know, like maybe if at 3 a.m. hits, and like there's nobody left, I might try it.
Yeah, you're saying that Whittaker's body count is too high.
Yeah, Whittaker's body count.
Sean Strickland admits he's compelled into the second bout with Dracus Duplessis still nursing a shoulder injury. He views his predicament as having no real choice, explaining that rejecting the UFC isn't an option. From his perspective, the pressure effectively cornered him into accepting the bout despite not being fully healthy.
Before the Dragus fight, I was fucking riding with Axel Hodges and I broke my shoulder. So I was in Colombia against themselves on my shoulder, and fucking they hit me up for the fight. And you know, like, the thing with the UFC, dog, you don't say no. There are pimps. Like, you know, you don't say no to the masters.
You gotta say yes.
So I was kind of like backed up in the corner taking that fight. So taking this time off to let my body heal has been amazing. Like, the shoulder feels fucking great. So I mean, I do miss fighting and, you know, I miss performing, but it's been nice to be a fat, lazy piece of shit for a while.
And UFC 324 is fast approaching, and Paddy Pimblett issues a bold statement targeting one of MMA's biggest names. Despite honoring Justin Gaethje's illustrious career, he asserts he can end Gaethje's dominance. Pimblett portrays this contest as beyond a mere fight. He labels it a pivotal moment that might close a chapter in Gaethje's career, raising the stakes before the cage even shuts.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, absolute legend of the sport, legend of the lightweight division, and it's an honour to get in the cage with him and fight him, but I feel bad saying it because I've said it already. I think I'm going to retire him.
Is that where you think he is in his career? You think he
I think he could be on the verge, on the precipice of retiring. He said himself he was going to retire if he didn't get a title shot, so when I beat him, he's not going to get another title shot, is he?
Michael Chandler thinks Justin Gaethje holds an advantage against Paddy Pimblett and also forecasts Gaethje beating Ilia Topuria later this year. He admits Pimblett possesses greater skill than most people appreciate, but still favors
Paddy. What do you think it looks like?
Oh man, more skilled, more experienced. I think better fighter all around, Justin Gaethje. But I also have been on record and said that Paddy Pimblett is better than a lot of people think he is. You know, because of his, you know, his haircut and the way he talks and the, you know, some of the, you know, the strength of schedule. People don't give him a lot of credit, but when I fought him in April in Miami, I'm not going to say that I was surprised because I was expecting the best version of Paddy, but he's better than a lot of people give him credit for. He's got long reach, good kicks, pretty darn patient and composed in there. But Gaethje's a whole different animal. So if I had to bet, which I can't, but if I had to lean one direction, I'd go Justin Gaethje, interim champion, and then he beats Ilya Topuria later on this year.
All right, okay.
Daniel Cormier praises both Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje, yet highlights that a matchup between Arman Tsarukyan and Ilya Topuria is the contest of greatest importance. As Islam Makhachev ascends, Cormier considers Arman a leading contender at lightweight and regards Ilya and Arman as the division's finest all-around combatants. He thinks their bout is not merely about skill, it holds the compelling narrative and drama that the
Arman Tsarukyan is so active in grappling, you know?
Listen, man, this guy might just be the best lightweight in the world. Since Islam's gone, he's really good, man. He's big, he's strong, he's physical. The champion, Ilya Topuria, is tremendous. I think Ilya and Arman are the two best guys in the world. I think they need a fight at some point because I think Paddy Pimblett is awesome. Justin Gaethje is awesome. Arman and Ilya seem to have something. And not only something in terms of skill, but between the two that we could build a great fight around, right? So yeah, I think Arman's fantastic though, man. He's good. He looked great against Dan Hooker too.
This has been today's video, and we hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more great MMA content.